Hi guys, welcome to another lecture in the series of lectures on interpretation of dreams. Now today I'm going to be elaborating on something else before we get into the work, which is another reason why this work remains to be really controversial. Excuse me. Um, and uh, and when I talk about this, I get that there might be um, a lot of ideas that will probably pour into the minds of people listening to, um, which is great, I think, for being able to critique the work. Um, you guys are free to put those ideas down in your answers, but just remember, don't put them in first person. Um, right now, just listen to what I'm going to say with concentration. And of course, I'm still nervous uh, about elaborating on what I'm about to elaborate on before we jump into the work. Uh, now, in this piece of work particularly, Sigmund Freud attempted to unravel the principles of grammar which governed the transformation of underlying thoughts into a remembered dream. Okay? We've already spoken about the part how, while this work is a literary masterpiece, it does comes with its own constriction of ideas in a whole lot of ways, um, and uh, and even things like, say, a manifest dream is condensation over determination. All of those thoughts that he's invoked, um, um, as well as about the symbols in dreams that are a sign of displacement, they are a problem in a whole lot of ways. Uh, the most vulgar misconception about this piece of work is that Freud himself came up with any idea to represent male or female sexual organs as symbols, which is not true at all. Uh, it was always already there in all kinds of literary pieces of work. Um, he was a philosopher, and so he was commenting on the acts of the society. Um, I don't think that in that time, there was WhatsApp and all of that stuff. I'm not saying that he may have not maybe gone through, friends' telegrams and stuff like that. There is a possibility about that. Um, but there was no need to diagnose, because he was not diagnosing the society with his work. What he was doing was he was commenting upon it. For example, uh, there's there's this piece of work called Song of Songs. Um, I'll read that out, and so when people say that he invented sexual symbolism, as in representation of male sexual organs with cigars and umbrellas and whatever, or female sexual organs with round and hollow containers, flowers, fruits, whatever, that's not true. Song of Songs is really famous. I'll read that out, and you guys can see how in that only there is representation. So the bride says, "Sweet dove, already you are in the cleft of my rock, enclosed in my cavern. Look up, let me see your handsome face. Speak to me, let me hear your sweet voice." Then the groom says, "Let us fetch us little foxes that plunder the vineyards, for our vineyards are full of grapes." Then the bride says, "My beloved is mine, as I am his. He browses among my lilies until the day dawns and the shadows fade. Turn again to me, my beloved, be like a wild goat or a hart grazing on the hills of butter." Now, in this, it's a romantic exchange between two people, which is usually done in private. Um, the writer of Song of Songs has just taken that inspiration from society, put it on paper. What Freud has done is he has, because for the thesis part of this book, um, for the thesis part of his book, he was very limited with the currency of sexual symbolism. So what he did was he just took whatever was present in literature, and he used that to be able to make his comment. Uh, and of course, he said clearly that this kind of symbolism was already very prevalent in folklores, myths, legends, idiomatic phrases, proverbs, all of that stuff, and he just added upon it. His recognition of the role of symbolism in dreams forced him to modify the method to include direct interpretations based on the analyst's knowledge of common usage. Um, he did not come up with anything new. This was already happening. This already still does happen, right? Like a lot of people in the romantic exchanges, they tend to use bananas, peaches, all of that stuff. Um, and that's something personal. That's nothing to diagnose upon. There can be philosophers can use it as a means to comment on the society, um, but especially in the modern world that we live in today, um, there's always a prefer not to answer option in things, um, which was probably not that prevalent back then. Um, but here also, he's not really answering anything. All he's doing is he's going his way of critiquing on the society, which I understand he's not entitled to critique on the society in any way. Um, as a philosopher, I feel that was his only subject, and so he did that. I guess that's about it for today's lecture. See you guys in another lecture soon. Um, I hope that this was of any worth, because for me to be able to put this lecture together was a tough feat. Um, I think so, because I get that this is a complicated subject to speak about. See you guys in another lecture. If you like the video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, as well as press the bell icon to stay updated for whenever a new lecture drops in, and maybe subscribe to the channel too.